And happy Tuesday, people. I love the giggles in the background when we go live. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Fight Club. Let's do this thing.
Did you see the Martha shuffle back to her chair? You caught her like completely off guard with her back
love
to the
it.
camera.
Sorry, it's okay. We're just going to go today because Jay's here and we're not waiting for anyone, even us. We're not waiting on us. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Fight Club. Hey there.
Well, happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to Fight Club for Business, the show for home service business owners looking to improve their marketing, finances, systems, and culture. We're a team of self-employed industry experts. And this week, we get to be joined by one of our favorite admins, Jahaira Garsani. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey guys,
So excited.
Thank you for inviting
What's
me.
up, lady?
It's going to be a fun show today, guys. Jay brings the energy. Jay brings the fire. Like, we're excited to have her on, and we're excited to talk. Well, that's correct. Bobby just corrected me. No longer an admin. She is now a GM. She's been promoted, and we're super excited to have her on. But we will be talking about her experience from the admin boot camp that she went through earlier this year. So super excited to have you, Jay. Can you just give everyone a brief rundown of yourself and your the businesses you work for?
Yeah. So my name is Jahaira Graciani. I'm actually 31. I have 3 kids. And I am the GM at TRT Pressure Washing and Window Cleaning. We're actually now TRT Home Services. Woo woo! Shout out to my team. We're based out of Orlando, Florida. And I actually started as the office manager and then became the GM around May of this year.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you with us, Jay. And Bobby's serious today. If anyone tries to steal Jay from the show,
breaking legs
out there.
I kind of want to stir the pot and like see how many job offers Jay can get over the next hour. I just
no, that's terrible. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. It's terrible.
Well, thank you, Jay, for being with us today. And if this is your first time listening to the show, my name is Taylor Maroney. I co-own a power washing company just a little bit further south of Jay and Bobby in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I run that with my husband, and my background is in marketing, where I found my passion for helping business owners understand the numbers behind marketing and how to make better decisions based upon that. So super excited to be with y'all today, and welcome back to Fight Club.
I'm fighting with computers. Sorry. My name is Megan Likes. I am the founder of Bookkeeping Academy Online. I educate and empower small business owners to know their numbers so that they can live more financially rewarding lives. I also own a full service accounting firm called Likes Accounting Company and a window cleaning, gutter cleaning company called Jeff Likes Clean Windows and Gutters. And I'm really excited to be back here on Fight Club. I feel like I miss all of you. We just spent a week together in Nashville, randomly running into each other at the bar, at the hot tub, at the reservation desk, at a restaurant. I just feel like I'm walking around all day like, where are my friends? I miss them. We're super stoked to have you on the show.
Hey there, Jay. I'm Michelle, and I'm the co-owner of Pink Collars, and we put remote admins in your service business. So if you need help doing the things that Jay is now dominating, she's not just doing them, she's dominating them. Phones, emails, text, chat, all the information that comes in and out of your business, we can absolutely help. And I am also the proud co-owner of a Wise Coatings location on the East Coast. Jay, I am obsessed with talking to you today because you are my people and you are my girl. And I think we have a lot to share with business owners today about how important the role of the admin is in their company. So I'm thrilled to have you here, and welcome to Fight Club.
All right. And I'm Martha Woodward. I owned a maid service for about 13 years. I co-founded Quality Driven Software and employee performance software. And my stick is just helping people build happier workplaces. And we are thrilled to have Jay on. She attended our first admin boot camp, and she's one of our OGs, but we love her. So it's going to be a fun day.
I think you can tell from all of our smiles that we just absolutely love Jay. We're so excited to have her.
I'm so excited.
I came on. I told them I couldn't be here because I'm on vacation, but I made sure so was Jay that I could get here.
made sure that she could be on with Jay.
Do you see this other photo bomber that wanted to make sure that they could be on with Jay? Yeah. I don't see anything happening in the background.
You've been on, Bobby.
For our listeners, Bobby Rocker is trying to join the show really hard. This is a solo interview with the GM, right? Solo interview, Bobby.
Well, I get to steal you first, Jay, and I'm super excited. Obviously, I talk about marketing and all the things marketing related. I have gotten to work with you a lot throughout the admin bootcamp and even after, and working on some marketing pieces and just the way your creative brain works, which is really cool to see being developed over this time period of just kind of starting from the admin bootcamp and getting to where you are now. So I guess first question is going to be, where are your hands in marketing right now? Are you still handling the marketing? Were you able to delegate that since the admin bootcamp? Kind of what roles does marketing play in your job today? And how were you able to delegate that if you were able to?
Yeah, so as when I was in, I guess, the office manager role, it was more so just making sure that we had just some type of social media presence. And then after taking the boot camp, getting that calendar and everything from you kind of really made me focus in on everything. So I do pretty much the monthly Facebook postings. Anytime we have like a major promotion, that is also on my end also. We did delegate, I want to say, because we just recently added on landscape lighting. So we did delegate that specific service to, what is it, like a third party who does that for us. But for the most part, all of the other services, promotions, they fall under me still.
Awesome. So you're able to, so what Jay's been using is, at the admin bootcamp, we were able to work with our admins in the marketing segment on how to really be able to take social media and make it plug and play and fun again. So it's not stressful. It's not overwhelming. We have I've actually designed a calendar, a social calendar that's used in Trello.
So much. It's like pre-planned. You don't have to think about it. Plug and play, change your colors, which is what I've been doing. And it's pretty easy.
Are we going to talk about the cute post where Jay went behind Bobby's back and did a discount? Are you guys going to talk about that?
Stress levels.
I was kind of upset.
Was it on Facebook? Did you see that one on Facebook?
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Did Tay see it? You got to tell her about it. You got to tell her about it.
You got to talk about it.
So Bobby, he'll leave early once in a while to go on, an appointment or a meeting. And I just get a really good call and I'm feeling good. The customer and me had a really good rapport on the phone. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw a promo. So I'll just, get on MailChimp and just put something together real quick. And I think it was free windows. And it got blasted on Facebook, liked and shared. And then Bobby commented on it. He was like, who approved this? And I'm like, I did. Your GM, you gave me permission to. So it ended up working out very well. I actually love Facebook now. Social media is not as daunting as before. It's not a task. So everything is pre-planned. That was probably one of my favorite promotions. Maybe it'll come out again. Who knows? But yeah, social media is definitely one of my favorite things now.
Awesome. I love it. And it's how much time has it saved you? I think that's the biggest thing that people freak out about over social media is like, oh, I have to spend so much time creating these posts and then engaging. And then I don't want to be on my phone 24/7 or on the computer. So time-wise, how do you feel that things have been time-wise for you? Is it good? Are you still overwhelmed by social media time-wise?
No, not at all. So I remember when we first started, I'm like, Tay, what the heck, girl? I don't want to be on TikTok and the Facebook and the Instagram and Mom's Page, MySpace, whatever everybody's using. I just want to focus in on what works for my team. Like, where do I go? Like, am I on Pinterest or am I not? And you were like, just calm down, breathe, drink some water. So we honestly just focused on, I want to say it's Instagram, Facebook, and even, I want to say Yelp sometimes. But mostly Google also. But it saves me a lot of time. I'd say I plan an hour an hour to maybe 2 a week to plan per quarter.
To plan per quarter. Like that's not like that's the like key golden nugget right here, guys, is like Jay is not spending an hour a day on social media. She's not spending 2 to 3 hours per day. She's spending an hour to 2 hours per week for like the quarter. Like not even per week, I should say. She picks a week, she picks that hour to 2 hours, and she uses that for the entire quarter. That's
right. And I think the takeaway was the templates that you gave, where it's like you can, shift everything a little bit here and there. It doesn't always all have to look the same, but it is just keep it aesthetically pleasing and you're good to go. The words will be different, the pictures will be different, but just keep it consistent, and it's helped.
Absolutely. So she's talking in regards to Canva. Canva is an awesome free tool that if you are not using, please, for marketing God's sake, start using this tool.
It's free.
It is a lifesaver. You have literally the access as to what a graphic designer would have at the palm of your hands within this app. And now if you are actually paying for the pro version, which allows you a little bit more access to some nicer templates, some nicer fonts, nicer graphics, you actually can be able to start uploading your social media through Canva to be able to save even more time. So this is not a sponsored ad for Canva by no means, but I love it. It's something I use daily, even as a graphic designer with a graphic design background. It's fantastic and I love it. So for business owners out there, if you haven't used that awesome tool yet, we highly recommend it. And clearly Jay is on the board for that.
I love it. I love it. And it's literally, they have the templates for Facebook, templates for Instagram. So you don't have to resize anything. You just download and post.
Download and post, which is awesome. So overall feeling about marketing now that you've been through the admin boot camp, how do you
love it? It showed me the money. What?
Yes.
Jay, did you use Canva before coming to boot camp?
I did, but I didn't use it to the extent that I did after. So knowing that I had a template that I could already mess with was a lot easier, because I would just go in Canva and start with a blank slate. And everybody knows, like, you get a blank little square and you're like, okay, I'm going to put bubbles over here and lines over there, maybe text in the middle. And then you get lost and you start squirreling and then end up on YouTube, whatever. But getting the templates and knowing that was a resource and not just something to play with, to me was awesome. Especially the time saving was what I took away from it. I don't have to sit here and stare at the computer for so long. It's all right, click, save, next. Click, click, save.
Yeah. And I think we were surprised because we hadn't really thought that out as far as knowing that we were going to do Canva training. And, I say we loosely, Tay. But that it certainly is getting weaved into the future ones. So that's
absolutely.
I think when she started talking about Canva, everybody was like the doing part. We were all like, oh, what? Look, turning our computers around like, look, guys, what I did.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I think that was the theme of the whole week too, was getting to see you guys be able to have those moments of sharing with each other of the accomplishments that you had and the awesomeness that you were able to achieve throughout the few days at Admin Bootcamp. So as far as marketing goes, we kind of talked about a lot of the topics I wanted to cover, and you did bring up money. So I know Megan's itching to talk about how this marketing has made you all the money and is bringing the money in for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hand you over to Megan, Jay, and I appreciate you being on the show today, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to add one more marketing comment, and that is that Tay, it's so funny, Tay and Jay, you guys like pizza and cod. So Tay built all these Canva templates that she shared with the attendees at the boot camp. But what I noticed after was you guys started sharing your own templates with each other in the Slack group. So I've definitely copied a Christina template. I know Jay has put some templates out there and been like, check this out for this story or this thing. And I love how Canva's created an atmosphere where you can actually collaborate. So if you have a friend in the home service business and they do something on social that you like, you can be like, hey, can you pass that template on over my way? And hopefully they're a sharer and they'll be willing to do that. I love that part. I love all of it.
I love it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about money. And I know we've got like Bobby blowing us up in the chat here. So when Bobby was on Fight Club, one of my favorite things about that episode that I actually still remember is he had this like dashboard of KPIs. So I want to talk a little bit about your transformation from admin to GM. And I want to talk a little bit about what happened with money in there, right? So when we were at admin bootcamp, we talked about how admins have a lot of power and influence in stacking a calendar, filling a schedule, keeping teams busy. And and you were kind of like eating it up. You're like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about it this way. Like, this is incredible. So let's talk a little bit about how you saw money as an admin. And then let's move that on into how you've had to put that on steroids as a GM. So let's start first as an admin. Like, what is your role in money in a company when your job is to just answer the phone, right?
We talked about that. Yeah. So at the Huge, which was awesome to see you guys. Tay, we missed you. But at the Huge, I do remember being in that mentality of being just, like she was saying, quote unquote, an admin, where you just answer phones and you just collect on invoices and put something on the schedule. Where really I could have done more. And then I guess coming back and seeing that new perspective after Miss Money Megan had her conversation with us, letting us know that you can, I guess is more the word, do a basic upsell or just do these little things to add more to the ticket. I think that's what I took away, where I could have been doing it as an admin and just didn't see it like that. I guess as a GM, I love numbers now because I come in and the first thing I open is my dashboard and I'm like, okay, how much do we have today? What are we looking at the next 3 days? All of my invoices closed, collected payments. Do I have anything that's like past due? What is my average ticket right now? What's my sales team doing? And it's not as scary because numbers, I think you said it on Fight Club. You said numbers don't have feelings. And it is what it is. You don't have to be afraid of it because it's not going to bite you. It's just where you have an opportunity to either improve or where you're kicking so much butt, you got to like, all right, tone it down because you guys are overworked now, you know?
Yeah. So let's talk about what does the TRT office look like now? Like, do you have an admin of your own?
No. So not yet. Okay. Not yet. I know, but it's in the works. It's just the process of hiring an admin because now I know what I was. And I think I just want to put that role in like steroids and really have like a system that they can follow. Because I want somebody that's just going to be on sticky notes when I just got off of sticky notes, you know? Yeah. But
well, it is copy and paste you or clone you, and then can we all have one of you? Can I just place an order? Yeah. I mean, I feel like
you get a J, you get a J, you get a J.
I love that. So I'm like, as you're talking, I'm thinking how powerful would it be though if your new imaginary admin was doing that for you? How powerful would that be if you guys could have a 5-minute meeting every day where you're like, okay, what's on the calendar today? What's coming up the next 3 days? Where are our holes? Like, what teams are feeling overworked? Like, I feel like often owners are like that. That's all. This just happened with Jeff in the past 6 months, where he always felt that burden was on him, and he started sharing it with Cassie because of the admin bootcamp training, right? Like, we started talking about numbers, and Martha is always saying, you got to be transparent. You got to talk about the money. You can't have secrets. You got to be open about it. And it has lifted his burden because once Cassie can see the schedule, like, hey, there's a hole here. She's the one that's going to fill that hole, right? Jeff knowing that there's a hole, that doesn't really help anything. So for you, now that you have your GM, I'm going to say badass because I guess I'm allowed to cuss badass hat on. Like, wouldn't it be powerful if you had an admin that was bringing this to you and being like, hey, Jay.
And me and Bobby have had those conversations, and it is coming. It's just exciting to see, I guess, the process of what I would have to show somebody. But I'm excited. I'm excited for when it does come, and then hopefully soon.
Awesome.
It'll be a Christmas present.
For the Huge, we put together a new KPI tracker. So I'm going to have to be sure to get it to you because it is beautiful. I will send it over to you. And it basically is like, how would you and Bobby have this meeting with the office admin about like whose role is quality, whose role is sales, whose role is production, whose role is like, for Jeff, a huge aha, and you said this, the huge, we're at the bar at like, I don't know, 11:30 at night, and everybody's like, okay, we definitely weren't at the bar at 11 or 11:30 at night, but everybody else is like going to go out downtown or do something. And Jay's like, I'm going to go to my room and I'm going to go make sure that all the invoices got paid today. And like all the things got sent. And she was being so diligent about the money parts of her role now. And I was like, I wish she had an admin at home that could be doing this for her. So I'm going to wish for that for Christmas for you. I think that's what I'm going to
It'll come. And then when she or he, whoever it is, I'll make sure to blast them and be like, I got one.
Right?
It'll be exciting.
Okay. Oh, Martha.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, this gives you time to get everything set up the way you want it before that person comes in. It'll be so plug and play for them.
Right. Yeah. And then I can make them a Trello board that they just have to follow. And it'll be an easier training process, as opposed to, there's still some things that I'm obviously learning on the money side of things. I wasn't just dumped everything because I don't want to mess it up, But there's still some things that I am learning. So I'm excited to see what that process would look like and how that delegation would go. And then what really would fall onto the admin's lap. And I can just breathe.
I'm loving this, and I'm taking notes for you right now. This is going to be your dashboard for your admin. So I heard you say how much is on the calendar today. I heard you say what's coming up, and I think you said next 3 days.
Right. Yep.
I heard you say what's our average ticket today.
Right.
Are you interested in how much you sold today?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Is she creating a dashboard as we speak? I love it.
I'm just dropping all these notes for you so that when you go to train your imaginary new admin, you're like set. How much did we sell today? How about what was our conversion rate? Oh, go ahead.
Any gaps in the day or the days coming? Can I have a last minute cancellation that I can put a last minute customer in?
I love that. So we actually have a surprise for the next admin training. We have our partners, Power Selling Pros, coming in. And one of my favorite things about Power Selling Pros is that they talk about the urgency list, which is not a cancellation list. And they talk about how you can leverage that urgency list to fill these holes in our schedules. So how to work an urgency list. I can picture this as a Trello board, and I'm not going to step on Michelle's toes because I know she wants to talk all about the dashboard. But what else do you need to make good decisions? What else do you need from your admin, or what else as an admin did you wish?
Unpaid invoices in the last few days. Was everything closed from last week? This is good. I'm excited because then I can be telling this to somebody and it can be getting done.
Well, and then you as the GM can stay in your GM role. Right. And you can stay up here and let them do. And that's, for me, that KPI tracker with Cassie is huge because she chases everything because she's the one that can actually impact it. Right. And then I make Jeff change his part and I make our production manager chase his part. And then I feel like the princess who just comes in and is like, gold stars. What happened here? Okay. Everything closed from last week, you said.
Yes.
And you also said open invoices list.
Yes, ma'am.
We were with a friend at the Huge, and I'm not going to say his name because I feel like this is slightly embarrassing, but he was like, he signed up for the admin boot camp, and he's like, I found some money today. And I was like, what do you mean you found some money today? And he was like, well, turns out I hadn't been paying very close attention to my invoices, and I found about 80 grand that hadn't been sent out. And we were like, yeah, you need to send your admin to us so they can chase that for you. He was like, I just, it's my job. And I was like, no, that should not be your job anymore. So open invoices list can absolutely be something that's worked by an admin, and they can keep track of when Mrs. Jones said she was going to send her check, or also, why are we not only on credit card on file? Why are we accepting checks still? I'm going to ask that.
That was a stat that my OM reported every day was open invoices, and she had a threshold that she was not to let it go above, and if it went above, then she had to say why. Like, I've tried this and this and this to collect, kind of thing. But it helps you stay on top of the money.
Right.
Totally. And for us on our KPI tracker, we do ours on a weekly basis, but it was really helpful for them to see, like, so the person who's selling, total sales for the day, the person who's producing, total production for the day, like how much was invoiced that day, and the person who's like collecting the cash and, paying the bills, total cash or money received today. And for them to see those three numbers from their different angles was a total eye-opener, because they can really fluctuate. But when we have a cash flow problem, is it because the sales slowed down 3 weeks ago? Or is it because the production was light today? Or was it just because it was a big commercial job and we're not going to get paid for a month or 2 months or 3 months? So I love that. Okay, I've been taking notes. Anything else you want to add to this imaginary future admin's financial responsibilities reporting to the boss lady?
No.
It's going to be an evolution, and we'll keep evolving it. But I feel like you're off to a head start for this next position, and I'm so excited for you to get your right hand.
I know.
In my head, I thought you were going to tell me like Bobby was your admin, and like answering the phones from Disney World and like trying to schedule and chase it. I in my head, I thought that's how that was going to go.
That would be good. That would be good.
It would be good. Okay, I'm going to pass you to Michelle. She's going to talk all about systems. I have a feeling is going to nerd out about Trello. And here it comes.
I might, but I loved you all's list, because I feel like this would be a perfect list for a workflow in Slack that would automatically populate, so that this could just be hello to a Google Sheet, and Jay is going to sing the praises of that automation. So for those listening that don't know what we're talking about, let's just step back a couple steps and tell everybody what I'm saying. So asynchronous communication through Slack is very, very, very cool. And asynchronous is a big word, and it's early in the morning, so I'm sorry. But that back and forth communication is super important. And what happens when you use a platform like Slack is that it can become your digital assistant, right? So instead of Jay chasing this data, hey, how many holes, or what's on the urgency list, or what's going on, what's closed from last week, she can set that up in an automation through Slack, and it'll automatically pop up on that admin screen throughout the day. And she can ask maybe 1 or 2 pieces of that data throughout the day, instead of just this massive pile of a list that this poor admin has to do all day at the end of the day. So that's how we do it at Pink Collars, and I love it. So we time them at like 9 in the morning at the first part of the day, 11, 1, 3, and then 1 more at 5 o'clock at the end of the day. And so that would give you everything you needed, Jay, right? Because you can start to block out what that admin is working on, right? Are they calling on unclosed invoices from 10 to 11 every day, right? They can have a little time block where they're like, okay, from 10 to 11, I have these 3 phone calls, right? It's so easy to do it when it's in little tiny chunks. It's really hard when all of a sudden it gets to be $80,000. Like, that's just crazy talk. Oh my God, that's crazy talk. So Jay, tell me, in your imaginary world of your new admin, I love this huge list. What would that maybe look like to organize his or her day so that they would be most beneficial to you? How would that work?
So what I took away from systems was workflows. No sticky notes.
Yay, not sticky notes. Yay.
So, as far as what I'm doing now, I think would help to kind of set me up for that future admin, because I would set up a channel where it would be like the admin email, so that we can both see kind of what's going on and know who's talking to, but then also setting up the workflows of pretty much making sure that each question that I would have would be answered, and having that flow into a separate channel. I think that's what I get from Slack, separating the information that I would be asking. Did I answer your question?
You did. You absolutely did.
For a second?
Yeah, I want to pause too. So go ahead, Megan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Jay, did you use Slack before boot camp?
I did for a TRT, but now I use it on steroids. Like, I think we have like a bunch of channels and a bunch of workflows. And it's funny, we used to use Jotform. Shop format, and now we use workflows because for me, I have one Google sheet with a few different tabs that it filters into. So all my reports are there. So as far as like sales, my job splits for my techs, what my techs have completed, it's all on that one.
Yeah, it's powerful. And can we do a record scratch really quick on email? Because I think a lot of listeners maybe didn't hear that. Let's just scratch the record for 1 second, because what Jay has set up is super powerful. So emails flowing into Slack mean what happens? Two people, right, can view the email.
Right.
They can see the status of the email. They don't have to sign into the email natively, like in Google or whatever your hosting platform is. Right. They can legitimately monitor the timeliness. I mean, as an owner, your head should be exploding, right? The timeliness of the response, the tone of the response.
Right.
And you can teach your admin right there in Slack privately, hey, Jay, next time, please say this.
Right.
Hey, Jay, why don't you respond here? Or if Jay doesn't know the answer, hello, brain blow. If Jay doesn't know the answer, which probably doesn't happen, she can ask you right there at that email as the owner, and then you can respond and say, please, Jay, let the customer know X, right? And you only have to go through those top 10%, and then it gets less and less, 5%, 2%, 1% of your email inbox, because somebody is monitoring it. And you can, if you're a control freak, I know there are no business owners around that are control freaks. I know that is not even a real thing, right? But if you are one, right? If you are, and I'm not saying it's anybody here, but if you are, the beauty of being able to just visually see all that stuff just lets all of that control freakiness leave your building. It leaves your body, right? It exits the building.
So coming back from boot camp, I would get like emails and I'm like, Bobby, this is a technical overstealing question. I have no idea. And he'd be like, hey, Jay, all I did was, secret's out, Bobby, I'm sorry. I would just like copy paste it. And
of course.
Hey, just want to let you know, blah, 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 whatever Bobby said. And that was it.
And here's the thing, business owners who are listening, that is essentially building a library of responses for your admin, right? You're teaching them and you don't even realize you're teaching them. It's like just easily in the workday. And what we do here, Jay, at Pink Collars, no plug for anybody here, but what we do is we take those responses, we put them on Trello under a frequently asked questions tab. And so every service that we answer a question and we go, okay, this was a window cleaning question, we copy paste it from there and we slap it in Trello so that the person behind us never has to go searching for that answer. We're creating our own library as we go. It's
and
really,
the owner never has to answer that question again. Like when you said that at Huge, I was like,
it's over.
Why are we not doing that? That is
it's
over. Brilliant.
I know.
This is kind of like, I guess, a gem. Sometimes when Bobby will respond and it's something that's another like FAQ, I just save it as a template in Google, which I didn't know you could do in your email. You have to turn it on, okay?
Yep, just turn it on.
But then I would just like plug and play name, address, make sure that I read through it, all the issues are taken care of, like that specific question. You know, like, is your window system going to scratch my windows? And Bobby had an email. I'm like, template. No.
Boom.
You know,
no,
and that's
not. Done.
More time saving.
You're so smart, Jay.
I love it.
That's like taking it to steroids. If you don't know what she's talking about, she's talking about the Gmail templates that Michelle set up for.
You can't give away all the tips.
Everybody. Though. Yeah, we can. We can give it away. Not everybody's gonna go execute like you. We can give it away.
And again, not to like drive it home, but these admins, I mean, your technicians, I love them, but they deal with 1, 2. I mean, if it's a crazy day, they'll deal with 5 customers, right? 5 stops on their route. An admin can deal with up to 50, 60, 70 people in a day. They're 10xing what your guys in the field are doing in terms of communication and interfacing with someone. So honestly, they are legitimately getting ground into the dust by people. So every single thing like this that we can help them save their time and effort and brain energy on, it just means they can give more back to your customers. It's a no-brainer to like arm them with this information and with these tools. It's a no-brainer. because they're the ones that are on the front line.
We're ground into dust, but we come out like diamonds.
Of
Put us
course
in the
you
pressure
do.
cooker.
There you go.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Well, that was awesome. I'm going to pass you
Wait,
on to Martha. Okay.
Can you guys
Megan's
talk
got
about that
something.
for a second? Like, we kind of
Please.
skipped over this. Ground into dust so we can turn into diamonds. I gotta find
You
it.
like that
here.
one?
Okay, this is what Bobby said. I'm sorry, Michelle and Martha, you are covered now. But
Okay.
Bobby, for the listeners who can't read the screen, said, my 2 cents on the Rockstar admin. Yes, it gave Jay some great tools like Google templates, Trello, Slack workflows to Google Sheets, all badass tools. But more importantly, Bobby says it was an investment into her by getting her around other driven, powerful, and effective leaders and business people. Her tribe. Like, I feel like Jay kind of found her tribe at boot camp.
I did.
And that boosted her confidence and eventually helped her realize her own potential that was there the whole time. We unlocked it a little bit. Like, did you know you could do this, or you have the power to do this, or you are like the most effective person in this company? And Bobby's calling a shot. He's saying that Jay's going to lead TRT to be one of the premier home service businesses in the country.
I love it.
Her name.
My team.
Remember her name. That's so good. That's so good. I'm obsessed.
I just had to.
I literally have goosebumps. Like, I can't
So
even.
good.
I have actual goosebumps. That was beautiful, Bobby. Very well written.
Well, tenacity is really one of the strengths that you get when you're an admin, and it's something that you really have to feed into your admins. And so again, you business owners that are listening, please understand that investing in this individual in this role in your company does nothing but just impact your company for a positive. It's just nothing. In fact, I just ordered a book and I want to put it in as a giveaway today. I know, here it comes. There's actually a book called Not Just an Admin. And so I'm going to give that away in the group today to whoever gives us the most comments and love in our private Facebook group. I would love to see people read that so they understand how important this role is. Again, not just an admin. So if you join our Facebook group, I might give it away. So get in there and give me a comment, give us some love. And I'm going to pass you off to Martha, who's going to talk to us all about people and how this is all going to happen. Thanks, Jay. Love you.
Love you more.
And I have to say my last comment about workflows, because you remember back in our Breckenridge retreat when I learned about workflows, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. And we did use that for like some of the daily KPIs, but
I got mad at you because Martha like stopped teaching, she stopped helping, and she hid in the back of the room, and she was just knocking out her workflows.
Workflows.
I was not happy. I was like, Martha, come on, you're losing.
I know.
Like, I'm busy.
But now I have several remote people, and I'm mentioning this because there may be some listeners that have similar situations. And like, I have a VA who's in the Philippines. I have a developer, and I might not hear from them on a regular basis. So it's super nice. Like with both of them, I have just a list of a few questions. And one of the things I ask is, do you need anything from me? Right. And then I ask another question on, do you need a meeting with me? And, most of the time it's no, but it makes it an easy way for a remote person to say, yep, I need a little bit of your time. And Megan, not to scare you off, because we're the same way. It rarely do they need it, but it's a simple way to do that. So FYI, use those workflows.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
For sure.
My favorite question like that is, where are you stuck? And how can I help get you unstuck? And I feel like if you ask it that way, it tells them it's okay to be stuck. Like, it tells them that I know that they're probably stuck and I'm not going to be mad or surprised or Do you need anything from me though? I should add that. Or what do you need from me?
So Jay, do you remember, did you come back from boot camp and implement anything with people? Because I know there was so much I didn't get to cover, but let's hear.
So what was it that you had posted? Something about a bad apple, right?
Uh, yeah.
You had posted like an article about a bad apple. Everybody knows you'll have some bad apples, just some people that don't fit the culture or core values of your team. So the team that we have now is not the same team we had before I went to boot camp. So it wasn't more so like putting the pressure on the team, but it was more so holding them accountable and to what our standard was and putting those like motivations in place that were tailored to them. What I really took from you was you said you got stuff that mattered to them. So like, things like, oh, it would be a spiff that would go towards rent or towards an electricity bill. Because I remember you said you worked a lot with like single moms and stuff. So I asked them like, what motivates you,
Right.
And then I started just throwing those carrots out there, and some of them rose to the occasion while others just, they didn't cut it. And then now the team that we have, although I was kind of working at the Huge, I didn't have to worry a lot about our text because they literally embody our core values and like to motivate them to do the right thing. Not even just the right thing, to motivate them. How can I say this? I guess just motivating them as a team to work together. Like if anything happens, they have each other to rely on, was what I took away from people. Like knowing that your team is literally your tribe. You don't only have your leadership, you have the people around you that are going to help build you up as well.
Yeah. And you do everyone such a favor, actually, by, like you mentioned, the people that got on board really got on board, but then there were a few that didn't. But when you can create that separation and highlight the people who are not going to get on board, generally they'll self-exit. And by you creating that space, you've done everyone such a favor, including yourself, in that creating a better workplace. So I love it. Yeah.
Right. I know we've had the text that we have now, and it gives me the goosebumps, Tay, when they talk about it, because I know I work somewhere special. I know I do. I know my team is Rockstar badass, and I'm sorry if I can't say that, but I love it. And I've had texts here when I do like a one-on-one as a GM just to kind of get a pulse on where they are. They say they have never worked someplace like this, that they feel extremely supported, that they feel empowered in their roles and their positions. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Like as a company, as a small business owner, especially, I think I told Bobby this once. Bobby, this is kudos to you. I told him, you've created such a place that really impacts people. And it's not only because you're an awesome person, it's because you created the culture to do so. Like people feel like that. Once you walk through the door, it's all family here. Like, oh my God, your dog died. Are you okay? Like we cared about those little things. And it makes us great.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Just spray water on.
And then, do you remember that list of questions that basically were for admins on paying attention to if you had any of these accountability problems? And some of it was like you make the same mistakes over and over. Do you sometimes follow the policies and sometimes?
Oh yeah, like raiding your office.
Yeah, and then how that can be seen as favoritism when it's just survival, Yeah, that's really cool. So one of the things that I got from you all in the Slack group is we needed more time on having those difficult conversations. So, I kind of took that for granted, and I really see that as an essential part of what we need to cover. So, we're talking a lot about accountability and KPIs and all those things. Well, we as, owners, admins, GMs are holding people accountable. And this isn't just admins, but owners also have a lot of trouble having the difficult conversations. So in the training, we are bringing in some how to have those conversations
Right.
and how to effectively hold people accountable, but then also in a way that serves them.
Right.
So,
And Ms. Martha too, I think kind of what I got, I don't know if it was just through conversations and one-on-ones with you, that people, if they don't know what's expected, like uncommunicated expectations leads to failure, right? So if they don't know what
Right.
you're expecting of them, or you don't know if they have an issue, or you don't have that one-on-one time, or they don't feel supported, then they're not going to do a great job or be up to your standard. So having those difficult conversations where you're just like, oh my gosh, they're not doing a great job. Well, there's an underlying root
yeah.
if you just have that one-on-one time with your people.
Yep. I absolutely agree. And it's just usually a matter of stepping back and going, oh yeah. Because it's funny how often you might be thinking a thought or saying something to somebody else, and then if that third party were to say, well, have you talked to him?
And they say no.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to talk to them? Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. And I think we just think, it's like, well, how could they not know? Is a common answer. And
because they think they're just an admin.
yeah. But how many of us live in our own little world where we think we're pretty good at something and we may not be, So anyway, those conversations.
Or the phrase my husband uses all the time is common sense is not common, people. It's
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to make sure you're being clear with your words and being clear with what you're expecting of someone. He uses it with me all the time whenever I forget to do something or forget whatever may happen. I mean, it's not as common as we think it is. So make sure to be descriptive, make sure to use your words, and make sure to really tell people what you're expecting of them. Because common
Being
sense
a mind reader. Right. Being a mind reader was not in the job description.
Yeah.
Let's see what this one. Read that one, Megan.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, I'm like, it's a long one. And I wanted to filter it before we put it on the screen in case Bobby's, up to shenanigans. But no, it's legit. So Bobby is actually being helpful. Thank you, Bobby. He says, Jay says that a quarterly review should not be a review of the employee. They should already know how they're doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Otherwise, we're not doing our job as leaders. She's doing 90-day meetings where the employee reviews us on our performance, and also a 90-day preview for the employee to set a personal and business goal for the next 90 days. And that's huge.
So spot on.
I think last week Martha was talking about, like, we need to have these conversations fast and early and often. And I think I'm hearing Martha in her talking, she's totally shifting, realizing like this isn't common. People don't know how to have a difficult conversation. Right. And waiting for a 30, 90 annual review is not the time to have that conversation at all. So, Bobby, yes, definitely. And Jay, that's amazing. I'm just going to leave it up there again. I'm going to hide Martha.
It's good.
So good. But
so good.
That, and then Martha, I'm sure you're going to talk to her about the personal part of that goal setting too, or maybe not.
Yeah. No, I was just laughing, thinking, I feel sorry for the people that worked with me, because if they rolled their eyes, if they, if I said something and they were like, just something came out that they didn't really intend to, body language wise or whatever, then and I wasn't mad at them or anything, but we were going to have a conversation about that. I wasn't going to let it go because I'm sure. It was like they don't know how to communicate to me either, and so if I were to let that, go, there's clearly something going on in your head that you're not happy with,
Right.
and I don't know what that is. And so we go back and we talk about it, and at the beginning they'd be like, no, I mean, everything's fine, and
Just like in a relationship.
and we had a good enough rapport that'd be like, is not fine, I'm like, I saw it, and I need to know what that is, and but you can only do that if they trust you, that they have to trust that they're not going to get any, they're not going to be in trouble for saying what's on their mind. So yeah, you would be perfect for that. So
I was telling Bobby too, if I could share this, that it coming from, I used to work in the hospitality industry, and in Florida, everybody knows that's literally everywhere.
yeah.
Whether it's a resort, the theme parks, I was doing it. So coming from like the corporate America, large business, to work for now a small business, say more nice things about me. Nice things about no.
Love Bobby.
coming from like large corporate America and making that switch and coming into a place where people actually care about you and your personal goals and want to see you like grow as a person, it's hard. So when somebody asks you like, okay, well, what is wrong? Like, what can I do to support you? It's kind of, I guess it's like, what?
Right.
You want to help me? Oh, no. There's a pink slip at the end of this. I'm going to get fired if I tell you that there was no napkins when I went to the break room, so
Right.
I related before boot camp, and then after boot camp, I was like, no, like I work in an environment where this is okay, to communicate all of the things.
Right. I'm reading Jonathan's comments. A previous supervisor of mine would take me on a walk around the building for our weekly meeting. During this walk, just digging into my life, what motivates me, he took the work metrics away and just cared about me as a person. I try to implement this in my business with my employees. Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing that was hard is that, and I guess I would say it was probably Brene Brown that I listened to, and I heard her famous vulnerability talk, etc. And I absolutely agree, Jonathan. But there was, like, I might ask about the staff. I might on one-on-ones ask about them, but I never shared anything personal about me. And I also found that was wrong as well, in that because then it felt like, and this goes out for admins, GMs, owners, it felt like me wanting to receive but not share. And you can't overshare, but then that felt like there was that separation. So I did start sharing some things just so that it felt a little bit more vulnerable, and that I was willing to connect to them.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, go ahead.
You go.
I just read somewhere that it said, right. I just read somewhere that it says, pretty much ask somebody about themselves and don't talk about you until they ask.
Yeah. And for sure, I absolutely believe it should be 3/4. I mean, that you should be asking about them because every human being wants to know that they matter and they're important. But I'm saying, especially as owners, if we put up a wall, then you lose. It's impersonal, and you lose some of that connection. And
I think a friend of mine has always said that we're more alike than we are different as humans, and we all have a way that we can connect, and we have a way that we have similarities with each other that we may not ever know about if we don't have those open conversations. And ever since she told me that and opened my mind to that mindset of having that connectivity as humans again, of just having those open conversations, it's a completely different way to look at the world and look at your fellow man and your fellow employees and the people that you work with, anyone you see on the street or walking by. You know, a smile and just an open conversation can really impact someone's day for a positive. And finding that connectivity piece and knowing that we're all more alike than we are different is very impactful, in my opinion. Shout out to my friend Jenna for that phrase, because I repeat it every day of my life, because it's really changed my mindset on how I look at us as the human race, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like, just bringing it back slightly to the admin bootcamp training, one of the byproducts that I hadn't realized, but when we were hearing everybody say their takeaways at the end, was how valued they felt because their owners had invested in them, because the owners had believed in them. The owners had spent this money to send them away, had paid them to be away from the business, working on it instead of in it, and how they saw something in them that really made it worth the investment. And I feel like there are so many ways as owners we could just take a deep breath and think of ways we can make our teams feel valued and included and appreciated. And not that we're plugging it, but I'm plugging it. I think the admin bootcamp adventure is a huge way to do that, to show your admin, like, I trust you, I believe in you, I see you.
Right. I told Bobby, I was like, I don't feel like I should be here. And he's like, you got this. Like, get it together. I don't know what you got going on. Shake it off and get it together. So I'm like, all right. And then I adopted my philosophy in work also, that you get the relationships that you build, right? So I'm sitting across the table from people who have like a $3 million business, a $10 million business, somebody who runs 3 businesses for their owner.
I know.
I'm like, oh, girl, I'm gonna be best friends with you. Sir, over here, I'm best friends with you. I need to know your process for onboarding. I need to know how you deal with 3 businesses at one time that make over $1 million. So to this day, we have a Google sheet that we filtered through a Slack channel. We put all of our information in there, and we just literally go back and forth with each other, or we'll set up a Zoom call and we'll be like, hey, I'm having issues with this. I don't know what's going on. Like when Facebook changed their whole calendar and like how to schedule stuff, I'm like, wait a minute. I think it was my girl Paisley. I was like, it hit the fan, girl. I don't know where it went. What's going on? My posts aren't coming up. It's just the support of, I do belong, and this is my tribe, and they know my name, and they know where I work. It just feels good now to know, like, oh, I'm reaching to be like Miss Heather, because Miss Heather is a monster. Oh, like services you guys added. That, like, we'll throw books at each other and be like, hey, you should read this because I remember you were struggling with this a second ago. Just having those continuous people, and they're not even in the same state, so it's not like you're talking to a competitor.
Yeah.
I just took that from it, so I no longer feel like I don't belong in a room. I walk and I command. I want to know who your
I love it.
admin is. I want to know who your GM is because I need their card or I need their email so that I can collaborate and get good.
Well, I think we should wrap it up. And
We got it. Wow.
If anybody wants to join us, I'm going to mute because I'm going to have a coughing fit.
No.
Oh boy. So if anybody wants to join us at our next boot camp, or if you're listening to this and you're like, how do I have a feeling you might have a Jay sitting in your office, and maybe she doesn't know it, or maybe you don't know it, but I can almost guarantee you we'll find it, we'll bring it out, we'll help them, get them in the right room. Basically, that's what this is.
In the right
room, in the right seat, so that they can get inspired by others, so that they can see what is possible and unlock their own potential. I think that was a huge takeaway from the admin bootcamp. So Jay, I'm so stoked that you found your tribe and that you're creating your own network. You're building your own network, and I'm just so proud of you. So we hope that if you're listening to this and you have an admin, that you would consider sending them to us, so that we can train them at camp. And Jay, we're hoping you can get your next admin so you can send them to camp and, right? And let's see what else. The boot camp is October 13th and 14th in Nashville, Tennessee.
Beautiful.
We're going to cover everything. We're going to cover all their meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we're going to send them home with a bunch of great takeaways, a bunch of great plug and play templates. And it's going to be amazing.
And if you are listening to the show at the moment and want to know where this link is, we will link it into the show notes, as well as it is on our Facebook page and our private Facebook group. So, and also if you wanted to follow My Office Outfitter on Facebook, that is also a great way to be able to keep in the know about everything going on with the Admin Bootcamp adventure coming up in October.
Yay. And I'm just gonna share the discount code because it's still technically active, even though it's after the show. Huge 250 would save you $250 between now and August 1st if you're interested. So
that's your homework.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Homework time. Keeping us on point. Okay, fast homework. 3 minutes over.
Awesome. Well, Jay let the cat out of the bag. It is homework time. So what we are going to ask of you right now is we are about to give you 4 to 5 pieces of homework. Jay has already given you your first piece of homework, which is to sign up for the Admin Bootcamp if you want to invest in your admin and you want to be able to send him or her to this awesome camp. As far as homework goes, please just choose one. This is a lot of homework that we do potentially give you at this time, so we don't want you to be overwhelmed. We want you to execute, and we want you to be able to move the needle forward in your business this week. So as far as marketing homework goes, I'm going to ask you to please, for the love of God, sign up for Canva. That is it. That's the homework. That's all I'm asking you to do this week. It's an amazing tool, an amazing platform. I know I've given this homework before, but if you have not executed on it, please do that this week. This can really impact your life, not only in social media aspects like we talked about today, but you can use this for email templates. You can use this for newsletters. You can use this for signs and banners. I actually just designed a banner for the Admin Bootcamp Adventure within Canva and was able to collaborate with the whole Fight Club team through Canva in order to make this happen. So there's so many awesome tools within Canva to be able to effectively work on designs for your business. So please sign up. It's free and you will love it. I promise. If you have any questions, always feel free to message me on Facebook or that's really the only way you can message me. I was going to say Slack, but that's not everyone has Slack.
I love it. Finance homework is how can your admin help you figure out the financial health of your company? Think through what questions you could be asking them on a regular basis to set them up for success so that they're not just answering the phones. They are now filling your schedule, right? And so that finance homework, and if you need suggestions in these show notes, is Jay's brain dump of the things that her as GM would love for somebody to be getting for her, fetching for her on a regular basis in terms of information so that she can make better, smarter, more timely decisions.
Awesome. And your systems homework today is whether you are an owner with one technician in the field, I implore you to go out and get Slack and change all of those text messages to Slack environment and start working in that as an owner so you can see the power that it'll have as you scale your team. So no matter how big your company is, check out Slack today because it is a game changer as you continue to grow. And then also join the Facebook group. And anybody who comments the most, I'm going to send them that Not Just an Admin book today. Thank you so much.
And your people homework is, what do you know about the people who work at your company?
That's a good one.
So think about, are they married? Do they have kids? Do they own a house or want to get in a house? What motivates them? What impacts their lives? And just get to know the people that you work with every day a little bit better. I like Jonathan's homework, actually.
Yay!
Awesome.
We can only pick one.
You only pick one. Only one.
It's so hard. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Yes.
Well, and you can
Give some.
make up your own if you want.
I can make up my own.
Yeah.
She kind of started.
I challenge owners who are already in Slack to create their first end of day workflow for their admin.
Right.
Yep.
Love it.
I
Love
just
it.
love workflows. I think when they asked about it, I was like, I know how to do it, and I sent it.
She definitely was sending automated workflows in the admin bootcamp Slack environment. That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Oh, Jay, we have to go, but what would you say? What would the end of day workflow say?
How many calls did we receive? How many jobs did we close today? How much money was collected? Did we do any posts today on social media? Was there any engagement? Any issues in the field? Just recap your day for me so that I can know how the day went, how your day was, and if we had any issues.
Okay. Boom. I
Love
tried to
it.
catch those in the show notes. So if you need her end of day workflow, they should be there.
Awesome.
Love
And
it.
you did talk a lot about how you want to collaborate with people and you want to make sure that everyone is collaborating within admin groups, GM groups. So how can someone get into contact with you if they do want to reach out, do have questions?
That would be awesome. I would say just email me because it goes into a Slack channel. No, I'm just kidding. My email is Jahaira@totalrestorationteam.com.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, we always close out the day with a quote. So I will give one that I found that I think is pretty cool. And it says, anyone, anywhere can make a positive difference. And that's by Mark Sanborn. And I know that you have made a positive difference. No matter what your title is, you are the Jay. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are so grateful. Everybody have an awesome day out there and just keep fighting.
Jay.
We love you, Jay.
We love you.